should be unethical ways to use other people's money to make money that the school system never taught you about. My name is Ben Kofi, aka Credit Kofi. I'm a loan broker that teaches you how to gain access to the money, the moolah, the bling, and the ka-ching. Let's get it. So has your heart ever dropped when you've had a late payment, you've seen your credit score drop overnight, okay? Now, one single slip up, one single late payment, okay, can basically cost you tens of thousands of dollars as far as funding for your business is concerned. Now, the thing is, one of the barriers to entry in order to gain access to all this money are late payments, because underwriters, banks, credit unions, they are almost offended, shall we say, by late payments because they deem you to be untrustworthy. One singular late payment can drop your credit score by 100 points. Yes, 100 points. And for you, what does that mean? That means higher interest rates, more denials, less opportunities to make money with money. But here's the thing, you can remove late payments, and guess what? It's legal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you one of the fastest ways, okay? Number one on the list, which a lot of people don't even use, okay? A goodwill letter simply means you write to the bank, you appeal to their best nature. You say to them, if it's just one singular late payment and out of the norm for you to make late payments, okay, you write this letter. Now, the goodwill letter strategy is really, really powerful, but it's really, really simple. So you're basically saying to the lender, I slipped up, I messed up. This kind of thing is unusual and out of character, and it's not going to happen again. It could have been an error with your auto pay, okay? Appeal to the better nature. Am I telling you to lie? I am not telling you to lie. That's completely up to you. You can use ChatGPT to put something together. For all of you that have been living underneath a rock and don't know what ChatGPT is, just do a simple Google search. I'm not going to spend time on this video in order to go over what ChatGPT is. Now, things to highlight your good history, highlight your commitment to moving forward and not making the same mistake again. You're probably thinking to yourself, where am I going to send a letter like this? You're going to send it to the credit reporting department, okay? Now, in the USA, banks like US Bank and other banks like Capital One, famous for issuing credit cards, Discover, they have all been known and all have history, as well as credit unions. They've got history of wiping off late payments simply by receiving goodwill letters. So this isn't something I'm speaking on that hasn't worked in the past. Trust me, it works. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, okay, what if the goodwill letter doesn't work? No worries. That's when we move to other strategies, because on this video, I've got a report in order to boost your credit score. Imagine what it would be like having a weapon like that in your pocket. I'm just about to provide you with it. So under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA in the USA, bureaus have to report accurate information. If they're not reporting accurate information and there are any errors, basically you can dispute those errors. And a lot of the time, these credit reporting agencies or credit reference agencies or CRAs make a whole bundle of data errors, and those data errors can be exploited in order to boost your credit score. So first thing you want to do is you want to pull your credit score from annualcreditreport.com. So you want to look for any errors, minute errors. We're talking about errors like dates that are wrong, account numbers that are wrong, balance errors. Okay, you want to go through your credit report with a fine tooth comb. Now, next up, what you want to do is you want to file those disputes with the credit bureaus. Now, basically, in instances like this, they've got 30 days in order to prove that the late payment is correct. If they can't prove that it's correct, they've basically got to remove it. Now, the thing is, with disputes, they don't always work the first try, okay? It has to be done strategically, okay, in order for them to knock away or knock off or remove all of those negatives, okay? Or to say that the negatives that you're claiming aren't verifiable. So you might be thinking to yourself, okay, what if the late payments are verifiable? Because we know, you know, and I know, most of the time they are verifiable because, you know, you made the error, you made the late payment, etc., etc. We know that, okay? I know that. But we're using tricks of the trade in order to get them removed in the first place, okay? And they're negotiable. Now, what do I mean by negotiable? Let's move to the next step. So next method is the pay for delete negotiation. So what if you could literally put yourself in a position where you make a payment for negative history to disappear? Sounds like some black magic shit, right? But this stuff actually happens and is real, okay? And it's called pay for delete. Let's get into it. Now, if you make a late payment, you can basically, or you can still be in a position to negotiate, okay, with that creditor or collections agency and use a strategy, as I've mentioned before, called pay to delete in order to get it removed. So how does this all work? Basically, you're going to settle your balance, or you're going to negotiate an amount in order to settle the balance in exchange for having the late payment completely removed from your credit report in order to boost it. Now, when you negotiate this pay for delete, you want to get in writing. Verbal permission in order for this to take place is not going to work. Demand it in writing. Now, you've got to take into consideration, not all lenders are going to do this. Now, there are many collections agencies and there are smaller creditors out there in the USA that will. Okay, so next up, what we're going to do is we're going to get into some more advanced strategies in order to get late payments removed, because I know that's what you're all here for. Now, what if I told you that credit bureaus are breaking the law each and every day, okay, but you don't even know about it? And if you knew about it, you could basically get things like late payments removed permanently. Now, what is your boy going to do? I'm going to show you how. Let's get it. Now, the reality of it is, you and I know, or if you don't know, you're going to get to know, that credit bureaus process millions of accounts every single day. And in processing those accounts, they're processing tons of data, your data, my data, his data, her data. And in processing all of that data, they make mistakes. And under the FCRA, you can basically demand proof beyond a shadow of a doubt that they've made errors. So what you want to do is you want to send a validation request to the creditor. Now, you want to ask for these things. You want to ask for the signed contract. You want to ask for payment history. And you want to ask for proof of the fact that the late payment is accurate in the first place. The reason why you're asking for all these things is because most creditors, okay, when you're armed with the knowledge, they can't produce all of this documentation in time, okay? And if they fail to do so, the bureaus basically have to delete it from your credit profile. What does that do? That boosts your credit score. Now, this method, you might think to yourself, is technical, but it's powerful, okay? It's basically how credit repair companies all across the United States of America basically get people's credit right across America repaired. So what I'm going to get into is the funding reality in the United States of America. In order to grab a hold of the cash, you're going to need a 700 plus credit score. That basically unlocks high limits. It unlocks business credit cards with 0% interest periods, okay? It unlocks SBA loans also. Yes, MCA loans are a thing that are more for restaurants. It's more for rapid cash restaurants, barbers, any business that cash flows, how can I say, rapidly, or turns over a lot of money rapidly. Now, when you start to drop into the 600s because of late payments, or let's say one singular late payment, lenders basically see you as high risk, okay? Your approvals start to shrink, your limits start to basically collapse, and your interest basically starts to skyrocket. And that's not a place where we want to be. And that's not a place where I want you to be. So in essence, removing lates doesn't just boost your score, okay? It basically restores your credibility with the banks, with the credit unions, with underwriters. There's a big cost to having late payments. The differential over a lifetime is $250,000 that you're going to save, or that you're going to pay more over a lifetime if you've got bad credit. You're basically going to be scraping by, okay? You're not going to be able to unlock six figures in real business credit in order to grow your businesses, just like successful businesses that I deal with all the time that grow by using credit or leveraging credit. So here's a summary. Here's your step-by-step action plan for US business owners. Now, number one, check your credit report on annualcreditreport.com. Number two, goodwill letters, okay, directly to the creditors, okay? Number three, if that fails, no problem. You're going to file disputes with all three credit bureaus. Now, if the late payments are valid, of which you know they're valid because you know when you've made a late payment, you can negotiate a pay to delete deal. That's number four. Number five, for more advanced cases, you can use the FCRA, which basically challenges the creditors or the lenders. You're basically going to demand full documentation. They're not going to be able to meet that, and you'll be able to get it legally removed, those late payments legally removed from your credit report. Number six, while you're repairing, okay, build positive trade lines, okay, secure cards, open up accounts with vendors, get your EIN based business credit, which is really, really important to build credit over time. Do all of this consistently, and the only way is up for you, okay, in order to clean up your credit report, in order to gain access to the money, moolah, bling, and ka-ching. Now, I give this information away for free. I would appreciate it if you could smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. So basically information like this, free information like this, can basically spread out, get to the masses so they can get up on the game, because it's all about financial education. Each one, teach one. See you soon.